BookTok and One Piece. These two communities have been discovering each other recently, and as a proud member of both, I feel like it's my duty to promote some cultural exchange. So I think it's only fair that some One Piece fans might be interested in reading some books. Now, just to assert my credibility that I know what I'm talking about, first, Roger is a fraud. Second, oppressed D slaves, aka Garp, also a fraud. And 3, Mihawk is a buggy victim. Here are some recommendations for places to start if you want to give reading a try. First off, we have The Sword of Kaigen by M.L. Wong. This is a Japanese-inspired action military fantasy with Avatar: The Last Airbender type magic. Next, we have The Adventures of Amina As-Sarafi. This is a pirate adventure about a Muslim woman in her 40s or something who comes out of retirement to save one of her old crewmate's daughters who's been held captive. Next, we have Sky's End by Mark J. Gregson. The best way I can explain this is just say flying ships with crews manning them, shooting giant harpoons at flying serpents. Next, we have Children of Blood and Bone. This is a very anime-like book. It's about a class of people, magicians and basically non-magicians. I think they're called Magi, and the Magi are super oppressed, and one day our main character decides to go off on a quest to try and bring magic back. This, I think, is my #1 recommendation in terms of just getting into reading in general, not specifically for One Piece. This is my #2. It's just very anime-like. It's another African-inspired fantasy, another revenge story about a main character who's a total hoss. He's one of the quote-unquote lesser races of people who fights his way against the more stronger and quote-unquote better races of people to take revenge on the slaughter of his family. Next, we have Malice, one of those books with a really good cast of characters, a very big cast of characters, very epic in scale. It is a chosen one medieval fantasy with lots of action. Now, if you really like the themes presented in One Piece, specifically colonialization critiques, imperialism critiques, even capitalism critiques, and racism critiques, you will like Babel by R.F. Kuang. This is a urban fantasy, so it takes place in 1812, I want to say 1812 Oxford, and it is a revolution story. Really cool magic system. Speaking again about the specific critiques I was talking about earlier that are found all throughout One Piece, Blood Over Brighhaven is also a great one. It is another high fantasy with a very intricate magic system. And then finally, my #1 recommendation for One Piece fans, The Wave Kings, Book 1 of the Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson. Whenever I think of the Stormlight Archive, I think of the One Piece of books, which isn't even true because the Wheel of Time exists. You go deep into the characters, who they are, also into things like land back movements, colonialization, mental health. If you like One Piece, you will love the Stormlight Archive. Brandon Sanderson has actually watched the first episode or 2 of the live action, and I think also seen a few episodes of the anime as well. The vibe, in my opinion, is just so similar.